Guys, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing good. So, today in this tutorial we are going to start class 10th science CBSE term 2 syllabus. As you all know that there are 7 chapters in science. So, we will cover each and every chapter from the syllabus of term 2. So, the first chapter which we have to cover from term 2 syllabus is carbon and its compound. It is chapter 4 from your textbook. So, let's start with the discussion of carbon and its compound. Maybe the video will get little longer, so I will divide this chapter in two parts, so it will be easy for you to study for your exams. And the notes are provided according to the CBSE NCERT textbook, so you can copy the notes, and I think it will be easy for you all to read it from the from the video, the notes which I have provided to you. So let's start with the chapter. So as you all know that carbon is one of the element which is present everywhere. You know that carbon is present everywhere. Where it is present? Carbon is present in our body, right? Carbon is present in the food items which we eat. Carbon is present in the fuel. Carbon is present in the lead of the pencil, right? So carbon is present everywhere. The organic food items which we are eating, like organic fruits, organic vegetables, cereals, etc., in everything carbon is present. If we talk about the nutrients like carbohydrate, in carbohydrates also carbon is present. So what we can say that this carbon is present everywhere. So can you tell me, I think you all know that carbon is a metal or a non-metal. So this will be a homework for you all. Comment in the comment section and tell me whether carbon is a metal or non-metal. You all are intelligent enough. I know that you all will give the answer. Okay. So there are some properties about the carbon which make it different from the other elements. There is some uniqueness because of which the carbon is different from the other elements. First of all, if we talk about the atomic number of carbon, atomic number of carbon is equal to 6. And what is the symbol of carbon? Symbol of carbon is C, capital C. It's very easy. Symbol of carbon is capital C and its atomic number is 6. If we write its electronic configuration, then in the K shell you all know that in the K shell 2 electrons can be present. And in the L cell how many electrons will be left? 6 minus 2, that is 4 electrons will be present in the L shell. Right? So this is the electronic configuration. The electronic configuration of carbon is 2, 4. And in the last shell, how many electrons are present? 4 electrons are present in the last shell. So this is, and also we know that the electrons present in the last shell are called valence electrons. And it is also the valency of carbon. So what will be the valency of carbon? Valency of carbon is 4 over there. 4. Okay. Now one more thing I want to tell you, that atomic number is 6. Then what will be the mass number of carbon? Mass number is equal to how much? It is equal to 12. Okay. Mass number of carbon is equal to 12. Atomic number is 6 and mass number is equal to 12. Now see, you know that in the center nucleus is present, and inside the nucleus protons and neutrons are present. Outside it orbits or shells are present in which the electrons will revolve. So in carbon atom, as you know that atomic number Z is equal to 6 and mass number A is equal to 12. So atomic number is also equal to number of protons. So number of proton is equal to 6 in carbon, and we know that in an atom number of proton is also equal to number of electrons. So number of electron over there, it is also equal to 6. Now this mass number A is equal to protons plus neutrons. So if proton is 6, what will be the number of neutrons? 6, it is 12. 12 minus 6, 6. So in a carbon atom 6 protons are present, 6 electrons are present and 6 neutrons are present. Remember this thing. Now, carbon is very small in size, because of which it can form a long chain with itself. Means one carbon atom can link with other carbon atom to form a long chain, and this property is called catenation. Catenation. I will provide you the definition of catenation in the next slides. You will get the definition. Catenation is a property of carbon by which it can link with itself to form long chain, rings or branch like structures. Okay, this is also one of the most important property of carbon, because of which it is different from the other elements. Now, the other property of carbon which makes it different from the other element is its tetravalent nature. Tetravalent nature. Tetravalent. What is the meaning of tetra? Tetra means 4 and valent means valency. So carbon is having 4 valency. Okay, so it is having 4 valency, means 4 electrons in the last shell. So how many extra electron it needs to get stable? It needs 4 more electron to become stable. So what it will do? It can either gain electron or it can lose electron to become stable. But both the cases are not possible for carbon. So what it will do? It will share its 4 electron with other elements to become stable. Okay, it will, so carbon is the element which will make covalent bond with other elements to become stable. In case of carbon, only covalent bonds are present. Right, so let's start with the introduction of the chapter. So I have given you a brief description about the carbon, that the symbol of carbon is capital C, its atomic number is equal to 6, mass number A is equal to 6 protons, 6 electrons and 6 neutrons are present. And what is the valence electronic configuration? It is 2, 4, and 4 is also the valency of carbon. Now we will be reading about detail in this about the carbon. So let's start with the introduction part. So the first point which I have given over there are two types of compounds. Yes, we have two types of compounds, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. When you will go in your higher classes and if you will take science 11 standard, you can see over there that your chemistry will be divided into three parts: physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. Right, so we have two types of compounds called organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So what are these inorganic compounds? Organic compounds are those compounds which are made up of carbon, and every living organisms are made up of carbon. In plants, animals, human beings, in all the living organism, carbon is present. We all are made from organic compounds, right? And what are inorganic compounds? Inorganic compounds are those compounds which are made from different elements, like for example nitrogen, sulfur, etc. In the earth crust, only 0.02% carbon in the form of minerals like carbonates, hydrogen carbonates, coal and petroleum is present. Means if we talk about carbon in the earth crust, it is only 0.02%. And in atmosphere, you know that air is a mixture of gases, and in that air, nitrogen, oxygen and small amount of carbon dioxide is also present. We have read that in our junior classes. So it is 0.03% of carbon dioxide is also present in our air, in the air. This was a brief description about carbon, means how it is distributed in the nature. Let's start with the bonding in carbon. That I have told you that carbon can only form covalent bond. But what is the meaning of this covalent bond? Covalent bond means the bond formed by the sharing of electrons. Suppose you have only one pencil with you. Okay, and your friend also needs a pencil and you also needs a pencil. So what you'll do, you'll finish your work and you'll give that pencil to your friend. You're sharing that pencil. In the same way, if one atom, for example this carbon, it is having 4 electron with itself, it is not stable at all. So what it will do, it will share its 4 electron with the other elements to become stable, and that type of bond is called covalent bond. So covalent bond is that bond which is formed by the sharing of electrons. Remember this one. So let's see what it's given over there. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Yes, we all know that atomic number of carbon is 6. And what is its electronic configuration? 2, 4. And what will be its valency? It is 4, because in the outermost shell or in the valence shell, 4 electrons are present. Now, since it is having 4 electrons in the outermost shell, so what carbon will do? It needs 4 more electrons to become stable. So it can either gain or lose 4 electrons to attain noble gas configuration or to become stable. But both the cases are not possible for this carbon. Why? Let's read about that. See. If the carbon will gain 4 electron, then what it will form? It will form C4 minus anion. Means if the carbon will take some 4 electron from outside, it will get a minus 4 charge. That is called anion. Anions are those species which are having a negative charge. But it is very difficult for this carbon to hold 4 more extra electron. I have told you that in carbon, 6 protons are present. And how many electrons were present in the carbon? 6 electrons. So if we add 4 more electrons in the carbon, it will become 10 electrons. And to hold this 10 electrons, it's very difficult for the small carbon. It cannot hold that 4 extra electrons. Means it cannot hold that 10 electrons. The 4 protons cannot take the burden of 10 electrons. So this case is not possible at all. Carbon cannot gain 4 electrons to become stable. Right? So, what if carbon will gain 4 electrons, means if it will donate 4 electrons, then what will happen? If carbon will donate 4 electrons, it will get a C4 plus charge, and that is called cation. Cation are those species which have positive charge. But this is also not possible. Carbon cannot donate just 4 electron, because for donating 4 electron it needs lot of energy, and carbon is a very small species. It is very small atom. It doesn't have that much amount of energy to donate that 4 electron. So this case is also not possible for carbon. So both the cases are not at all possible. It cannot gain electron because the small nucleus cannot hold that 4 extra electron in it, right? And it cannot lose electron because carbon doesn't have that much energy to lose that electron. So both the possibilities are not we cannot do these things. So what carbon will do? Carbon overcomes this problem by sharing its valence electron with other atoms of carbon or with other atoms of other elements, right? So कार्बन कैन नॉट गेन इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड कार्बन कैन नॉट लूज इलेक्ट्रॉन. कार्बन तो इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन भी नहीं कर सकता और वो लूज भी नहीं कर सकता. वो दोनों पॉसिबिलिटीज़ नहीं है उसके पास. तो कार्बन फिर क्या करेगा? वो अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को अपने 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो उसके पास है वो उसे शेयर करेगा. या तो कार्बन के साथ करेगा या फिर दूसरे एलिमेंट्स के साथ करेगा. कौन कौन से एलिमेंट्स के साथ कर सकता है? ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन, हाइड्रोजन या फिर सल्फर. Different types of elements can share its electron with the carbon to attain noble gas configuration. And because of this sharing, carbon will form one bond that is called covalent bond. Right? So till there, I think it's clear to you all, right? That carbon will form a bond called covalent bond by sharing its 4 electron with other atoms or with other carbon atom also. Now, let's see some of the compounds which are given in your textbook, and their melting and boiling point is also provided over there. The first one is acetic acid. This table is equally important. Maybe that in the exam you will get in some of the question they will tell you to write the formula of acetic acid, chloroform, ethanol, methane. So learn these formulas because it's given in the textbook. So what is the formula of acetic acid? The formula of acetic acid is CH3COOH. This is the formula of acetic acid. Formula of chloroform is CHCl3. CHCl3. Ethanol, CH3CH2OH. Or you can also write ethanol as C2H5OH. 2 carbon atoms, 5 hydrogen atom, and OH group is there for alcohol. And the formula of methane is CH4. So these are the different formulas of the compounds containing carbon. These all are carbon compounds, right? The melting and boiling points are also given over there. See, for example, for acetic acid, its melting point is 290. Among the 4 compounds which are given over there, acetic acid is having the highest melting point as well as the boiling point. But this methane, it is having only 1 carbon atom, and its melting point is also less, that is 90, and boiling point is also less, that is 111. So learn the formulas of these compounds. Now, we will see the bonding by which the carbon atoms or different atoms will share their electrons, and they will form a hydrogen bond. They will form a covalent bond. For example, hydrogen atom. You know that hydrogen atom is having only 1 electron. I will bring one more hydrogen atom. Both of them is having one electron. So what they will do? They will share the electrons among themselves. And what they will do? What they will form? They will form a covalent bond. HH single bond, that is, it is a covalent bond, right? In case of hydrogen, atomic number of oxygen is 8. Electronic configuration 2, 6. 6 electrons are there in the outermost shell. So oxygen atom will have 6 electrons in the outermost shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many extra electrons it need to become stable? It needs 2 more electrons to become stable, because every element, if they will have 8 electrons in the outer motion, they will become stable. So it needs 2 more electrons to become stable. So what oxygen will do? It will combine with other oxygen atom. It will share its electron with other oxygen atom like this. Okay, and they will form double bond, and that is also an example of covalent bonding. Like this in nitrogen, nitrogen also shares its electron with other nitrogen atom, and it forms N triple bond. Same cases with methane. The formula of methane is CH4. Suppose this is a carbon, 4 electrons are there. So what this carbon will do? Hydrogen is also having 4 electrons. One means 4 hydrogen atom will have 4 electrons. They will share the electrons with the carbon atom, and they will form a methane compound, and it is also a covalent compound formed by the sharing of electrons. Now let's start with the discussion of covalent bond. What is covalent bond and what are its properties? This is important because in previous years also this question was asked. What are the properties of covalent bond? So let's start with the definition of covalent bond. The bond formed by the sharing of electron pairs between two atoms is called a covalent bond. So what is a covalent bond? A covalent bond will be formed by the sharing of electrons. Right? Now let's read about the properties of covalent bond. The first property of covalent bond is they have low melting and boiling point, as they have weak intermolecular forces. All the compounds which are formed by sharing of electrons, they have low melting and boiling point. Why? Because the force of interaction between them is very weak. That's why they are having weak melting and boiling point. So remember that low melting and boiling point. Remember that all the covalent bonds, they have low melting and boiling point. Okay. Next, they are poor conductor of electricity, means they cannot conduct electricity. Why? As electrons are shared between atoms and no charged particles are formed. See, since in covalent bond what happens? Electrons are shared between two atoms, and no charged particles, means positively charged or negatively charged particles, are not formed in case of covalent bond. That's why they are poor conductor of electricity. They cannot conduct electricity. Now I will tell you about the allotropes of carbon. Allotropes means what? Allotropes means the forms of carbon. Allotropes are having same chemical properties, but physical properties are different. Physical means their look and appearance are different. Chemical properties are same, but physical properties are different. So more or less you should know that allotropes means the forms of carbon. So there are three allotropes of carbon: graphite, diamond, and C60 Buckminster fullerene. So I think you all have heard about graphite and diamond. Diamond, you all know, it's used for making jewelries, correct? And graphite is used as a lubricant in machines, and it is also used in the lead of the pencils, right? So see, the diamond is the hardest known substance. It is used for cutting the glass, and it is also used for making the jewelry. And the structure of graphite is like this. In this, one carbon atom is joined with other 4 carbon atoms. One carbon atom is joined with other 4 carbon atoms, and it forms like this type of structure. Next, graphite is slippery in nature. In graphite, one carbon atom is joined with 3 other carbon atoms. One bond is left, means one electron is free in carbon atom, because of which it is slippery in nature, and it also conducts electricity because of this free electron. It is also used as a lubricant in electric cell and in lead of the pencil. Now we have C60 Buckminster fullerene, and the C60 Buckminster fullerene contains 60 carbon atoms. 60 carbon atoms. So these are the three allotropes of carbon which we have to read in this chapter. Okay, so next start with the next topic of from this lesson, that is versatile nature of carbon. Versatile means why it is different from the other elements. So let's start. So there are two characteristic properties of carbon which leads to large number of carbon compounds. If we look around us, there are lots of carbon compound. Like for example, carbon dioxide, calcium carbonate, calcium sorry, carbon tetrachloride CCl4. Then we have carbonate CO3 2 minus. Then then many other compounds are also there which are made up of carbon atoms. So let's see. The first property of carbon which makes it different from the other element is catenation. About catenation already I have told you. It is the property of carbon by which it can link with itself to form a long chain, to form branches, or to form a ring-like structure like this. Right? So let's see the definition of the catenation. It is the property of carbon in which it forms covalent bond. Which type of bond it will form? Covalent bond by sharing of electrons with other carbon atoms to form a long chain, branch chain and close ring compound. This is the definition of catenation. It can also come in your exam that what is catenation, or write a definition of catenation. So you should know the definition of catenation. What is catenation? It is a property of carbon by which it forms covalent bond with other carbon atom to form a long chain, branch structure or a ring-like structure. Carbon atoms can be linked by single, double or triple bond. Yes, it is also true that one carbon atom can be linked with other carbon atom by a double bond, by a triple bond also, or by a single bond also. The next property is tetravalency. About tetravalency already I have told you, tetra means 4, right? So carbon is having 4 valency. Its atomic number is 6. Electronic configuration 2, 4. 4 electron in the outermost shell. So how many valency it will have? It will have 4 valency. It cannot form with other carbon atom or some other it cannot lose or gain electron. It cannot lose 4 electron or it cannot gain that 4 electrons. What it will do? It will share the electrons with other carbon atoms or with other atoms like nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, etc. Okay, so this was the 2 properties of carbon because of which it is different from the other atoms. Now, next read about hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons means hydrogen and carbon, mixture of hydrogen and carbon. So what are hydrocarbons? The compounds which are formed from carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. Can you tell me 1 or 2 example of hydrocarbon? Yes, we have read that methane, CH4, it is one of the compound which is made from carbon and hydrogen. So it is a hydrocarbon. And there are 2 types of hydrocarbons, saturated hydrocarbon and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So what are saturated hydrocarbons? Saturated hydrocarbons are those hydrocarbons which have carbon-carbon single bond, in which only single bond will be present. Example, alkanes. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons and they have a formula called CnH2n plus 2. This is the formula for alkanes. CnH2n plus 2. For example, what formula I have written? CnH2n plus 2. For example, I will take number of carbon atom as 1, C1. 2 into 1 plus 1. C 2 into 1 is 2 and plus 1, CH3. So this is the formula. This is methane, CH3, methane. Sorry, 2 ones are 2 plus 3, yes, CH3. So like this, suppose I have taken 2 carbon atoms. So 2 into 2 plus 2. How much we will get? C2. 2 2s are 4 plus 2, 6. C2H6. So this is the second compound which we can make from this formula. Methane, ethane. This is the formula for ethane. So this is general formula for alkanes. Next we have unsaturated hydrocarbons. So what are unsaturated hydrocarbons? Unsaturated hydrocarbons are those compounds which can have a double bond or triple bond for carbon. Alkenes and alkynes are the unsaturated hydrocarbon. Alkenes, they have carbon-carbon double bonds. In alkenes, carbon-carbon double bonds are present. And the formula is CnH2n. And for alkynes, we are having carbon-carbon triple bonds. And the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. So you have to remember the formulas for alkane, alkene and alkynes. Alkane, CnH2n plus 2. Alkene, CnH2n, and for alkyne we have to subtract that 2, CnH2n minus 2. So this was all about your hydrocarbon. Next, this table is given in your NCERT textbook. So let's go through this table once. Names, molecular formula and structure of saturated hydrocarbon. Saturated means in which only single bonds are present. Okay, the first one is Methane. How many carbon atoms are there in methane? Only one carbon atom, and the formula is CH4. If we draw its structure, how we will draw? One carbon atom and four hydrogen atom. Four hydrogen atom we will link like this. So this is the structure for methane. Next, what we have? Next we have ethane. Ethane is having two carbon atoms, and its formula is C2H6. C2H6 means two carbon atoms. We will draw like this, and six hydrogen atom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrogen atom. Next is our propane, having three carbon atoms, C3H8. Okay, use that formula CnH2n plus 2. You will get the same formula. Meth, one carbon atom. Eth, two carbon atom. Prop or propane, that is three carbon atom. And for three carbon atom, you have to draw the chain like this with three carbon atoms, and you have to put that 8 hydrogens over there. Butane is having four carbon atoms. So for four carbon atoms, you will draw a long chain having four carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you will put the 10 hydrogen in all the four carbon atoms. So this is the structure for butane. Next, pentane. Pent means 5. 5 carbon atoms are there in pentane. And how many hydrogen atoms? CnH2n plus 2. Just double the number. 5 into 2, 10 plus 2. 12 hydrogen atoms in pentane. Hexane is having 6 carbon atoms. And how many hydrogen atoms? 14 hydrogen atom, and the structure of hexane is like this. So this was all about your saturated compounds, saturated hydrocarbons and their structure. It's very easy. If you'll practice once, you can draw all the structures. Next, let's come to the chain rings and branches. So see, this is the complete molecule. This is your C4H10, means butane. We can draw butane in two ways. One of the way is like this. We can draw straight structure, straight chain like structure of butane. And one of the structure like this. In the form of branches also, we can draw the structure of a butane. Okay, so their molecular formula is same, but structures are different. So these both are what? These both are isomers. So what are isomers? Isomers are those compounds which have the same molecular formula but different structures. If you count the number of carbon atom and hydrogen atom, it will be exactly same, but their structures are different. Now if we talk about the ring like structure or the carbon skeleton, suppose hexane means 6 carbon atoms. Cyclo means cyclic structure is there. So like this is the cyclic structure of cyclohexane, and in this the hydrogen atoms are also attached. Now if we talk about the ring like structure, so one of the benzene is an unsaturated compound. See, you can see the double bond is there. The formula of benzene is C6H6, and it is also known as aromatic compound. We used to draw the structure of benzene like this. 6 carbon atom, and with all the carbon atom we used to attach one hydrogen. Once again we will draw the structure of benzene. In simple way, in some of the textbook, the structure of benzene is drawn like this also, but in your textbook it is drawn like this. Over there also one carbon atom. Sorry. With all carbon atom, you have to attach one hydrogen. 6 carbon, 6 hydrogen. But the valency of carbon is not satisfied with one hydrogen. So what we will do? Alternate double bonds we will put. Now you can see 4 bonds are satisfied. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the structure of benzene. And the molecular formula of benzene is C6H6. Next, let's come to the electron dot structure of unsaturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated, again double and triple bond. So first take the example of ethene. The molecular formula of ethene is C2H2, means 2 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atom. So with 2 carbon atom, one carbon atom will have 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other carbon atom will also have 4 electrons, right? And 4 hydrogen atoms are also there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. They will also have 4 electrons among themselves. So what they will do? They will share the electrons among themselves and they will form a covalent bond. But since you can see 2 pairs of electrons are shared among these 2 carbon atoms, so they will form a double bond. In the same way, in ethine, C2H2, three pairs of electrons are shared between the carbon atoms. They will form a triple bond. So these are the electron dot structures of ethene and ethine. Now, let's come to the names, molecular formula and structural formula of unsaturated hydrocarbons of alkenes and alkynes. Alkenes we have already discussed: methane, ethane, propane, butane, till pentane, till hexane I have told you. Over there, we'll see the formulas of alkenes and alkynes. The first alkene is ethene. Its formula is C2H4. So for that you have to write 2 carbon atoms and you have to put 4 hydrogen atoms. So if you'll put 4 hydrogen atom, the valency of carbon will not be satisfied. So what we have to do? We have to put a double bond between 2 carbon atoms. In propene, 3 carbon atoms are present and 6 hydrogen atoms are present. So we'll put the 6 hydrogen atom. Then also we can see that one of the carbon is not satisfying its valency, means 4 bonds it cannot have. So what we have to do? We have to put a double bond over there. In butane, 4 carbon atoms are present and 8 hydrogen atoms are present. So over there also we have to put one double bond between 2 carbon atoms, then only its valency will be satisfied. If we talk about alkynes, ethyne, C2H2, in this we have to put a triple bond between 2 carbon atoms. Propyne, 3 carbon atoms, we have to put a triple bond over there also, and in butyne, 4 carbon atoms. One triple bond is there over there also. Now, carbon compounds on the basis of the structure. On the basis of structure means straight chain, branch chain, or ring or cyclic structure. So for straight chain you can see C3H8 means propane example they have given over there. One more hydrogen atom should be there. Methane, ethane, propane, butane. So straight chain we can write like this. We can put 6 hydrogen atom. Right? So this is the example for straight chain hydrocarbon. For cyclic structure or ring-like structure, we have to draw a ring-like structure. For example, cyclohexane is one of the example, benzene is one of the example, and for branch chain structure, we have to show the branches. For example, pentane we can write in the straight form like this, in the straight chain form. But we can also write 2 other forms for pentane, in which the number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atom will be same. So we have isopentane and neopentane over there, in which we can see the branches, means the carbon atoms and the hydrogen atoms are same, but the structures are different. So these are called isomers. So what are isomers? Isomers are those compounds which have same molecular formula, but they have different structures. Now, the second last topic from this chapter is functional group. So what are functional groups? You all have read about functional groups. So what are functional groups? The atom or group of atom which can replace hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon and makes carbon compound reactive and decides its properties are called functional group. For example, I have a hydrocarbon or carbon compound called CH4. If I replace one of the hydrogen atom with OH, means alcohol group, then it will become alcohol. Right? So this OH group has changed the property of this hydrocarbon CH4. So functional groups are atom or group of atom which replace hydrogen atom and makes the carbon compound reactive and decides its property, whether it will become alcohol, whether it will become aldehyde, or whether it will become a ketone or carboxylic acid. It will be decided by the functional group. Examples of functional group are Cl, means any halo group, chloro, bromo, OH for alcohol, COH for carboxylic acid, and CHO for aldehyde. Ketone is also there, CO. Now let's come to this table which is given in your textbook. See, this chloro and bromo. One more table I will make over there for prefix or suffix. Prefix, which is used for your IUPAC nomenclature, but it's not given in CBSE syllabus now for term 2. Okay, so this chloro and bromo, these are generally used as a prefix. For example, chlorobutane, chloropentane, bromobutane, bromopentane. The prefix is used before the root chain, before the root word. Suffix is used after that. OH is for alcohol. OH is the functional group of alcohol, and we use a suffix called "ol" for that. For example, methanol, butanol, pentanol, aldehyde, CHO, and for that we use a suffix called "al." For example, uh, ethanol, pentanol, butanol, Ketone, we use a suffix called "-one", butanone, pentanone, like that. For carboxylic acid, we use COH group is there, and for that we use oic acid. Butanoic acid, pentanoic acid, like that. So these are the prefix and suffix like that we have to use for the functional groups. So remember the formula, definition of the functional group, that functional groups are the atom or group of atom which replace hydrogen from the carbon compound and make them reactive and decide their properties also. Examples of functional groups are halo groups like chlorobromo, alcoholic group like OH, aldehyde CHO, ketone CO, and carboxylic acid COOH. Now this is the last slide from this chapter, carbonates compound, and the last topic also for term 2 syllabus. So we have finished this topic in this chapter in one shot only. Full chapter is there in this video. So CBSE student, please go through this video so that you can prepare for your exams, and full notes from your NCERT textbook is there. Now, the last topic from this chapter is homologous series. So, what is homologous series? Homo means same. Okay, homologous series. A series of compound in which same functional group substitute for hydrogen in a carbon chain is called homologous series. Means if the hydrogen atom, if a series of compound is there, means 4-5 compounds are there, and in that the hydrogen atom is substituted by one of the by the same functional group, for example by alcohol group or by aldehyde group, then that series is called a homologous series. It is a series of compound in which the same functional group substitute for hydrogen in a carbon chain, and that is called your homologous series. Example, you can see CH3OH, CH3 C2H5OH. In all these compounds you can see OH group is there at the last. They have same general formula, and the general formula is also same over there, and any two homologous series differ by CH2 unit. If you compare CH3OH and C2H5OH, the difference between them will be of CH2. If we compare these two, over there the difference will be of CH2. If we compare these two compounds, over there also the difference will be of CH2 unit. So between any two compounds in a series, the difference will be of CH2 unit. They have same chemical properties but show gradual change in physical properties. Chemical properties will be same, but there will be some differences in the physical properties. See over there, if you compare CH2 and C2H6, they differ by a unit called CH2. C2 means one carbon atom, C6 minus C2, C2. If you compare these two, over there also the difference will be of a CH2 units. Now let's quickly learn about the prefixes. If IUPAC nomenclature was there in the syllabus, then you have to prepare for it, but don't worry, it's not there in the syllabus, but for your higher classes, it will be easy for you to learn. You should know the prefix of the carbon chain. Okay, so the first one, if one carbon atom is there, then you have to write meth. If two carbon atoms are there, then you have to write eth. If 3 carbon atoms are there, then you have to write prop. For 4 carbon atoms, we used to write but. For 5 carbon atoms, it's pent, and for 6 carbon atom, it's hex. For 7 carbon atom, it's hept. For 8 carbon atom, it's oct. For 9 carbon atom, it's non, and for 10 carbon atoms, it's dec. For example, meth. If we want to write for alkane, we used to add the suffix called ane. Alkane. Meth is the prefix and an is the suffix. Methane. Ethane. 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 Like this, we can add prefix and suffix, and we can name for the compounds given over there. So with this, we have finished the chapter carbon and its compound. All the notes which I have given in this tutorial is from the NCERT textbook. So if you want, you can copy this in your notebook and revise. Read the textbook once till homologous series from the syllabus, and you will get a proper understanding. If you have a proper concept from the chapter, you can solve any of the question. फिर चाहे क्वेश्चन कहीं से भी आए, अगर आपके पास नॉलेज है, कंसेप्ट है इस चैप्टर का, तो आप तो फिर कहीं से भी आंसर कर सकते हो. तो मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग यही है कि अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक, NCERT टेक्स्ट बुक को रीड करो, अच्छे से पढ़ो, जो भी पॉइंट्स आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगते हैं उसे अंडरलाइन करो, और फिर क्वेश्चन जहाँ से भी आएंगे आप उसे आंसर करना. Okay, so with this, we have finished the chapter. If you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. I will definitely try to clear your doubts. Thank you for watching my channel Science Learning Gateway. If you like this tutorial, then please like it, share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it. Thank you for watching.